Coming up on Lindenwood News, a pickup truck crashes into a building near the Fabulous Fox. We'll let you know how this affects the shows at the theater.
Plus, singer Elton John speaks out about his recent loss of vision, how this affects his life coming up.
And the Russian president makes a public statement about the outcome of the U.S. election.
Those stories and more ahead on Lindenwood News.
Welcome to this edition of Lindenwood News. I'm Emma Hickerson.
And I'm Craig Eddy. Several people are in the hospital today after a pickup truck crashes into the building after a police chase near the Fox Theater. Police say the truck fled the scene of a crash in southern Illinois and a Brooklyn PD officer chased him over state lines. It crashed next to the Fox at a building where Stage Left Grill is located. The Fabulous Fox says the crash will not affect the performances at the theater, but Stage Left Grill will be closed for the weekend. After the crash, the driver was arrested. No word on charges.
And here at Lindenwood University, students living in the dorms have been struggling with their laundry rooms. To learn more about it, we sent Lindenwood News' Gia Buck out to investigate.
College students all have quite a lot of laundry to deal with. At Lindenwood University, the laundry rooms also have quite a lot of upkeep. We talked to one of the RAs, Kat Massingoff, to ask about what that upkeep looks like.
Company called ASI, so they provide any of the washing machines and like dryers. So if there's any maintenance, so like if they're not drying as well or the washing machines get gross, they're supposed to come in and do that stuff.
Each dorm building comes equipped with 4 washers and 4 dryers. And while ASI is responsible for these, Massingoff says that sometimes it's hard to reach them.
They did come through 2 months ago and do the dryers, because I remember when we first moved in, the dryers were absolutely awful. They didn't dry at all, and it took like 3 cycles to get any of it done. So they have came in, but then now we've seen problems in the dryer, or the washing machines, not the dryer. So now it's just trying to get them to come back and do those as well.
But what do students think? Most students have no idea what is happening in the washing rooms other than their own laundry. In talking to one student, Lauren Meisner, we heard more about the problems.
The washers and dryers, frequently either the locks don't work on them or the dryers, they do not like dry your clothes all the way. I always have to do like 2 separate rounds for my clothes, even though it's not that much and the dryers are pretty big. The floor is usually almost always wet from the washers. I don't know how it happens, but it's really gross. And it's always really hot in there, and there's not like a lot of machines for people to use.
Hygiene and cleanliness of a laundry room is very important, especially when it's where you're supposed to be cleaning your clothes. But students here at Lindenwood University are getting very little information on how the upkeep of their laundry rooms is happening. For Lindenwood News, this is Gia Buck.
CBC hockey player dies after being hit by a stray bullet on I-55. Police say a stray bullet had hit 16-year-old Colin Brown while he was driving with his dad on I-55 in Afton. Brown was in critical condition after being shot and was hospitalized for 4 days before passing away from his injuries. The hockey community and St. Louis community is coming together to support the Brown family. Police are still looking for the people responsible for the shooting.
St. Louis City Hall gave back millions of dollars to taxes to remote workers during the pandemic, and it cost them. The city has already refunded around $36 million for 2020, 2021, and 2022. Officials thinking that could total up to be $40 million by the end of this fiscal year. And there is still about 1,500 requests still pending. City leaders have started to trim the budget and pause raises for city workers to help offset the loss.
Straight ahead on Lindenwood News, a star from the cast of Wicked publicly talks about the online comments she's received. The movie has already broken 3 records after 2 weeks in theaters, but online there has been some controversy.
President Vladimir Putin publicly congratulates Donald Trump on winning the U.S. election. Putin says that Trump behaved like a, quote, real man in the face of the assassination attempts. Putin also announces that Moscow is ready to discuss bringing an end to Ukrainian crisis with the president-elect.
Singer-songwriter Elton John is suffering from vision loss after recovering from an eye infection. The singer mentioned this during the gala performance of Devil Wears Prada in London, that he was unable to watch the show. He says he lost vision in his right eye in July and has very limited eyesight in his left. The 77-year-old says this vision issues have affected his ability to work on his projects. He thanks his husband for being his rock during his health struggles.
Actress Marissa Bodie is addressing derogatory comments that have been made about her character in the new movie Wicked. Bodie plays a character named Nessa Rose, who is the younger sister of Alphaba. Both on screen and in real life, Bodie uses a wheelchair, and there have been a lot of comments about her disability. Bodie says that she is proud to be representing the disabled community, but refuses to ignore the ableism or hate that she feels she is receiving online.
Rain is coming in at the end of the weekend. We will let you know if there's a chance it'll freeze. Hi, I'm David Kruse here with your weekly weather. Now looking here at our map, most of the Midwest will have some cold weather due to this long cold front reaching from the top of Montana all the way down to the top of Texas. That will also bring some storms. Then here on the West Coast, there will just be some light showers. Now we're going on to our area highs. St. Louis will be getting up to a crisp 26 degrees, and St. Charles and Maryland Heights dropping just a degree lower. O'Fallon and St. Peter's are following suit, but are also reaching highs of 25. Now on to our 5-day forecast. While it will be sunny outside and getting warmer over the week, on Thursday night, you're really going to want your heavy blankets out, as the high will be 25 and then drop down to 17 during the night. High of 34 and low of 29 for Friday. Then over Sunday and Monday, we'll be getting some precipitation, but it will not snow, however, due to the temperature just not quite getting low enough. And that's all for weather. Now on Tyler with news.
Thanks, David. The Lindenwood women's volleyball team go toe-to-toe against Morehead State in the Ohio Valley Conference. Who was victorious? I have the details on the game coming up. The Lindenwood women's volleyball team are crowned as the Ohio Valley Conference champions. The Lions sweep Morehead State 3-0 last Tuesday, which marked the first conference championship in program history at the Division I level and the most wins in a season since 2011. The women's volleyball team has officially been selected to join the postseason tournament after winning the Ohio Valley Conference tournament. These games are set to begin today, December 5th at 4 p.m. The Lindenwood women's basketball team stay undefeated at home as they take down Evansville University, making it a 3-game win streak. I was able to catch the event, and I have all the details. Let's take a look.
The 3-1 Lindenwood Lions women's basketball team is on a 3-game win streak after defeating the University of Evansville women's basketball team this past Thursday in Highland Arena. The Lions, who are led by Amy Egan, stay undefeated at home court and make sure they do whatever they need to get the win. I had a chance to speak with sophomore guard Brooke Coffey about how the season is going.
I think we've been playing really well. We've been locked in on defense especially. Our coaches always harp on, just knowing what they're going to do and just playing hard on defense, and I feel like we've executed that very well in practice, and it's carried over to games. We just got to stay focused and stay locked in. We're kind of on a high with a 3-game win streak, so I feel like we just need to stay focused and locked in on defense especially again.
It's clear this Lindenwood women's basketball team has stayed focused and stayed determined to find a way to win. I had a chance to speak with assistant coach Jordan Mellott about how they're preparing for the next game.
With UMKC specifically, one of the things that we've talked a lot about is their transition and the pressure on the defense. So we're talking about taking care of the ball a little bit more with how many turnovers we had last time, and the girls did well in practice taking care of the ball. Also on the flip end of that, with us transitioning on defense and with their speed and athleticism, making sure that we're back, taking care of the ball and taking care of making sure that we're slowing them down.
The team's bond and chemistry is strong this season as they get ready to face off Kansas City on Friday. Lindenwood fans will be able to cheer on these ladies in their next home game facing off against Alabama A&M University on Saturday, December 7th at 1 p.m., where this team has a chance to showcase their skill and talent on the court. I'm Tyler Edwards with Lindenwood News.
The Lindenwood women's basketball team defeats Kansas City, extending their win streak to 4 straight wins. The last win has marked the Lions' best start to a season since 2017-18 season with a 7-0 start. Head coach Amy Egan says, quote, "A great team effort to get a win off the road. We made the lays we needed to down the stretch. Also, always nice to feel like you're at home with our crowd. Thankful for our fans, they're supporting us. Go Lions. The Lions are set to play their next game against Alabama A&M on Saturday, December 7th. Back to you, Craig.
Nearly 25,000 people made their way home at the St. Louis Lambert Airport after Thanksgiving. The TSA predicted thousands of people to fly in over the holiday weekend to a very busy schedule on Sunday. There were plenty of mixed feelings from flyers about the crowded airports, with many just wanting to go home. There were around 30 inbound and outbound flights delayed on Sunday, but later in the evening, things got much smoother. As post-pandemic air travel numbers continue to increase, the TSA expects nearly 200,000 travelers throughout the Thanksgiving period.
Everyone loves a good Airbnb, but wait till you hear about this one. An Airbnb located in Festus, Missouri has a long history and is known as Caveland. Let's see what makes this one so special. Everyone loves a good Airbnb, but wait till you hear about this one. An Airbnb located in Festus, Missouri has a long history and is known as Caveland. Let's see what makes this one so special. Caveland isn't your average Airbnb, it's much, much more. Through the decades, it's seen varieties of peoples and events, so let's get a closer look at the cave's past through today. It was originally a silica mining cave that had closed, but what was turned into a popular roller skating rink and concert venue from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, with famous artists such as Charlie Daniels, Ted Nugent, Bob Seger, Styx, and Tina Turner. Unfortunately, it had to close in the late 80s, so let's hear from the woman that saw it all.
Yes, it's awesome. It can be turned into anything.
In 2004, it was purchased and converted into a family residence where they lived for nearly 2 decades. In September 2023, it was purchased to be an Airbnb/house party venue to bring back to life.
It's awesome. I'm ready for it.
With its history and uniqueness, Caveland is a great opportunity for you and your family to experience a sight you've never seen and won't want to miss. For Lindenwood News, I'm Emma Hickerson.
That's it for this edition of Lindenwood News. I'm Craig Eddy.
And I'm Emma Hickerson. Thanks for joining us.